Wait, before you go and buy that $80,000 to $90,000 Raptor, you need to check out one of these. I'll include a link to the Tim Daly Ford's website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 5-liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed, fuel economy is 15 around town, 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. This particular truck's finished in antimatter blue, and you can see you've got the vents on the hood with this too. I like the amber there on the headlight, and then you do have gold trim with the Tremor package as well as the blacked out Ford logo. Now this version of the Tremor comes with the regular bumper. It is body painted to match. We've got fog lights and we do have recovery points. There is also underbody protection with this truck. So although this doesn't look quite as aggressive as a loaded up Tremor or a Raptor, it looks more aggressive than a regular F-150. Tire and wheel setup is 275 by 70 by 18, which is a true 33. We also have the metallic gray wheels, which have a little bit more of a rugged look. The Tremor is slightly lifted and it does come with special shocks. They're not branded, they're just from Ford. F-150 Tremor there on the little vent piece, and then we do have the fixed side steps just like a Raptor. Now unlike a Raptor, this is leaf sprung in the rear. Now here's your side profile. The truck does have a bit of rake, so the back end does sit a little bit higher than the front end. When it comes to key fob features, we've got the Ford logo there on the back. On the front face, we've got our lock and unlock function, remote start, and then the drop down for the tailgate. LED lights in the bed. We also have an outlet in the bed, and it's a Ford with bed liner. You never see this. We also have a ruler on the tailgate, and this has Ford's tailgate step system. And when we're all done, just press that, and yes, the tailgate will raise up by itself. Now you do get the baseline taillights, but right next to that, we've got the Tremor decal. I'll get you guys an exhaust clip later, but you've got the dual outlet exhaust tips as well as recovery points on the rear. That will cap things off for the exterior of this Tremor. Let's now check out the interior. Nice gold stitching there on the door panel. This comes with a B&O sound system, and then you've got seats specifically for the Tremor. They've got sort of a camo design on them and more of that gold. Legroom in the back of the Tremor is good. We've got a storage pocket, cup holders for the rear passengers. You've got USB ports, vents, and then you'll see the little outlet at the bottom. Headroom in the back of the F-150 is good. Keyless entry for up front, and let's pop inside. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then the mirrors do have the power adjustment function. They don't power fold in. Front two windows are automatic. Payload capacity on this truck is 1,556 pounds. More of that camo print on the front seat with the Tremor logo. The driver's seat is power adjustable with lumbar support. The passenger seat's also power adjustable with lumbar support. This truck is equipped with auto stop start. You can turn it off. We've got light controls, and then the pedals also power adjustable. Start her up. The steering wheel is pretty normal. You do have gold stitching in the center section. We also have controls for the center digital gauge cluster. On the left hand side, we've got adaptive cruise control, volume voice command controls too. Full digital in the center. We also have our drive modes. Now the Tremor has some off-road modes, basically off-road and then rock crawl, so they do expect you to use this truck a little bit. There is also a tow mode too. I was about to move on, but I do want to show you guys. Look at that fuel range, almost 700 miles. That's pretty cool. This also has a 360 camera system. It's not the most user-friendly, but resolution's good. Before we get into the rest of the screen, we've got parking assist and then our trail control up above, this big infotainment system. It's Ford's unit that they have in all the F-150s. Now it is quick to respond. It's got a shortcut bar there on the side for this little tab. This truck also comes with Pro Trailer Assistant. We have trailer brake controls integrated from the factory. Now sadly this does not have 4-wheel auto, but it's still a part-time 4-wheel drive system with 4-wheel low and a rear locking differential. Volume controls are in this area. We also have our dual zone climate controls, heated seats built in with this too. A couple of USB ports, and while we're on the topic of power, right next to all the climate controls we've got more outlet action. Fold down shifter, because this does not have the workbench center console, but that's why the shifter's fold down, by the way. It has regular center console though. Nice gold stitching on top. Rugged looking trim on the glove box lid, and then we've got 6 auxiliary switches just like the Raptor. 2025 F-150 5.0, $69,130. Let's see how this performs. Before we set off, I think I forgot to do an exhaust clip. Sounds pretty healthy. Trail turn assist is in the infotainment screen, by the way. I will say, I think that automakers putting any sort of off-road equipment in a screen is a huge mistake. Ford does the diff locks for the Ranger Raptor on the screen. The reason why I think it's a huge mistake is if something's gonna go wrong, the worst place that it could go wrong at is off the road. I had that happen with my Bronco Raptor, and it soured me so much that like I don't want to own another Bronco for a while until I like know that they've ironed out the electrical stuff with that. So yeah, I think they should have physical, anything that's off-road, physical button. Just shouldn't be in a screen. I don't want to have to worry about like being able to do something and not being able to do it because the screen crashed. I think that's silly. Now this is quite possibly the best F-150 you can buy. Reason being, the Raptor is cool, but most people tow with their trucks. And the Raptor, although can tow, I can't talk today. Try that again. Although the Raptor can tow, it is not great because it's coil sprung now. Coil springs are fine. They're great for ride quality. They're just not as durable as leaf springs. And so if you tow with your Raptor on a regular basis, you're gonna have to replace the rear springs at a relatively low mileage amount. So this being leaf sprung makes way more sense for towing. The 5.0 V8's also really cool. If you want to get a V8 in the Raptor, well, you got to shell out over $100,000. This is less than a regular F-150 Raptor. Now it obviously doesn't have the wide body, the sophisticated Fox shocks, but that is something else that's a benefit with the Tremor. Doesn't have the sophisticated Fox shocks. High performance shocks are really fun. They're expensive to maintain. You have to rebuild them. So with the Raptor, you're gonna have to rebuild your shocks, you know, realistically, especially if you do a lot of off-roading, 20 to 40,000 miles. Whereas shocks like this, basic shocks, monotube, twin tube that this has, you can get well over 100,000 miles out of them. And you don't rebuild them, you just replace them. Excuse me. And because they're basic shocks, they're cheap to replace. So you don't get as much performance out of them, but you get more reliability. And this drives, like on road especially, very comfortable. It's smooth. And the insulation in these new F-150s is great. It's very luxurious. Pickup trucks in general, very luxurious. I can understand why so many people buy these as daily drivers, even if they don't tow, because it's nice having the space that this has in the cabin, and then the ride quality with a long wheelbase is so good. It's a very comfortable vehicle. Turning radius is pretty good. Again, you'll lose quite a bit in four-wheel drive high, and you don't have auto that splits the difference, sadly. Now the V8, yeah, it's not as quick as the EcoBoost, we all know that, but it's got plenty of power. It's very smooth with the power delivery, smoother than the V6. And the response time, boom, it just goes. It's a hot rod engine, it's fun. It's a fun powertrain. And the fuel economy is not really that different from the 3.5. You get pretty similar fuel economy in the 5.0 and the 3.5, so it's not like you're getting a less efficient engine. So you get 2 more cylinders and similar efficiency. So in summary, the 5.0 Tremor with the baseline package, because when you do the loaded up Tremor 5.0, it's $80,000, and it's like you might as well buy a Raptor. That's my opinion. Might as well buy a Raptor if you're gonna spend that much money. But this, over $10,000 less, and you get the discount, pretty appealing, pretty appealing. So let me guys think about the 5.0 Tremor, but I think this is the Tremor sweet spot, and potentially the F-150 sweet spot. I still think the STX with the off-road package is a better value than this. It offers quite a bit. But I do think that this is, if you're willing to spend a little bit more money, this is kind of just a cooler rig in general. Man, there's so much going on, I'm like, kind of see. But let me know what you guys think about the 5.0 Tremor, and if you think this is, the best F-150 to go for.